Okay, so I'm back for take two and Truth Tuesday. Tuesdays are so important to make sure that you do a self check and that you're on the right track to accomplish your goals this week and this month. Now, what I've been seeing in and around the circles that I coach in, the circles that I network in, speak in, a lot of distractions. And I feel that the only way that we are going to be able to minimize and eliminate these distractions is by taking responsibility ourselves. Too often over the years since I've been in the coaching space, and, quite frankly, it doesn't matter if you're in the coaching space, the entrepreneurial space, or the corporate space. The number of distractions that we have in today's world is just unbelievable. And the problem is that if we don't each take responsibility for minimizing or eliminating those distractions in our lives, they will continue to distract us, obviously, and we will get off course. So, you know, while I love focusing on our ideal clients who happen to be in the founder role or the CEO role, usually they are introverted. Not always, because I mean, we do have some extroverted clients that we work with, but a lot do tend to be introverted and not sure how to get their message out into the world in a bigger way, so they can be heard, so they can earn more revenue and recognition for their company. This message on Truth Tuesday is really for not just the entrepreneurial spirits, but also corporates and students, because we have so many distractions in our world. And the reason why I'm asking everyone to take responsibility for those is because I truly don't believe that we will be able to minimize or eliminate those unless we take each individual responsibility. Meaning each individual needs to take responsibility because it is an extremely noisy world. And what I have seen lately is a lot of people tend to not acknowledge, that they need to do anything about the distractions that are in their lives. They tend to I hear a lot of people, saying, well, it's just this is the way that it is. And the thing that concerns me as a parent is the fact that a lot of the younger generations always feel like they need some noise, or they use YouTube videos as fillers, and not just YouTube videos but also like podcasts. uh, Maybe they're listening to music, but it's more of what I've observed is, it's more of a filler. Like, I often wonder, is it because they're not comfortable with silence? Because if that's the case, that needs to be resolved, because we all need some silence. We all need some time to think. I learned that from one of my greatest mentors. He always says it's important for all of us to have time to think. Well, I only did time to think, maybe once a week for several years. I have decided that I'm doing time to think every day, even if it's only for 5 minutes, because that is a strategy that perhaps you'd like to borrow and start using. and implement it in your own life because it does help us to make sure that we are on track. And if you use Tuesdays, because I know Mondays are kind of like crazy, we're all getting, hit the ground running for the week. We have our objectives. But if we use Tuesdays to do a self check, and that self check can be for life and business, right? Then we can make sure that we are on track. We can call ourselves out if we're not doing the right things to get where we need to be. Because much like I talked about with the distractions, it's important that we don't have the attitude or the response like, well, that's the way that it is. No, it obviously is that way, right? That is our reality. However, what we can do if we take responsibility is to make sure that we are minimizing and eliminating some of those distractions. And we can do that with various strategies, but especially making decisions to eliminate or making decisions to minimize. So, my hope is that this message today on Truth Tuesday inspires you to take some time to think and to implement Tuesdays as a way to do a self check to make sure that you are on track for your week's objectives. And once you get this dialed in for yourself, of course, you can roll this out to your team, to your family, and you can make sure that all of you are committing to doing checks on Tuesday to make sure that you are on track to meet and exceed your objectives. I'm cheering for you. And I would love to know, what are some strategies that you do that you find extremely effective when you may be veering off to the left or maybe veering off to the right because there are so many distractions in our world. What is it that you do? Please share in the comments. Please send me a DM. I love exchanging ideas, because we can all help each other. So, I hope this was helpful to you on Truth Tuesday. I would love to hear your truth, and I look forward to seeing everyone again soon. Good night, everyone. Good night.